we're back for How to Get Smarter Part 2. See what I did there? Okay, before we leave the last thing we were talking about, Step 2, tough reads, there's one thing that I must say. You don't only need to rely on books for tough reads, because books cost money. And things that cost money, to me, aren't as good as things that are free. And let's not forget that while there are great books out there, there's also this wonderful resource that's available to most of us, known as I think it rhymes with internet. And there's a wealth of material on the internet that you can access anytime that will be phenomenal for your intellectual progress. I'm going to recommend a few. One website that I think is particularly good for thinking is LessWrongWiki.com. And the link will be in the description below. The LessWrong Wiki, as is promised by the word wiki in it, is a database of articles dealing with logic and philosophy. And a lot of this stuff is very out there, experimental thought that will be guaranteed to challenge your conceptions of the way the world works and the way your mind works and things like that. It's a great site. And Goethe, the author, Johann von Goethe, wrote this book called Faust. And in it, a lot of discourse is spent on the nature of learning and of knowledge. It's an old German myth, and I'll never forget there's this one scene where a student comes to Faust to ask him what he should study. And Faust, which is, in that scene, the devil disguised as Faust, tells the student, this is the devil's own advice, that most knowledge is useless to you. Like, you don't want to learn medicine or law. You want to learn how to think, and you want to learn about the mind. So the devil suggests that the first thing this new student should learn is logic. And I think that's a really true thing. Logic, philosophy, rational thought is where you should start. And the LessWrong Wiki gives you a lot of material. They call them Rationality material. So links are in the description. Another website that I think is particularly good to spend hours on is HighExistence.com. And HighExistence motto is challenging the way you live. And I think that's very true. Because in HighExistence, you will see a wealth of articles from good writers about things like philosophy, consciousness, the psychedelic experience. It's a very trippy site. It's almost like Burning Man online. For those of you who don't know, Burning Man is a festival in somewhere out in Nevada where they do lots of really cool, trippy things, lots of psychedelic art. Again, link is in the description. Spend some time there. There'll be things that will make you smarter on that site. Okay, so now you are doing a whole bunch of reading and you are coming up with a whole new list of ideas in your head. The next step to that is whenever you're tired of reading, take a break. Why don't you watch some videos? Just like there are great articles to read on the internet, there are also great videos. A place where most people start is debate videos. A lot of debaters will watch world universities or world schools debating videos on YouTube, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. Like This House Believes in Nationalism, the finals from LaSalle Worlds, was one where lots of people learned about concepts pertaining to nationalism. You can learn a lot from watching debate videos, but given that everyone else is anyway, or your competition is also watching the same videos, to get an edge, you want to watch different videos. Like, keep watching the debate videos, but watch other videos outside that challenge you. There is a great one. It's a BBC live debate between Christopher Hitchens and Stephen Fry and some authorities in the Catholic Church, and motion is this house believes the Catholic Church brings more harm than good. And the amount of information you will get in those 2 hours would be tantamount to the amount that you would get reading in a week. It was a huge video. And in the link, I will post a few videos that I think were particularly illuminating and will give you good ideas. Christopher Hitchens is a prominent spokesman for the atheist community that is very intelligent. He's a heavyweight intellectual that listening to him oftentimes will make you smarter in of itself. Watch stuff on YouTube. Hank Green does a lot of great stuff. He has this whole world history overview from which you can learn pearls of wisdom and stuff. So watch videos on YouTube, watch videos in Dailymotion, watch smart videos. Now, step 4 to getting smarter. Talk about it. I get the K is kind of retarded, but talk about it. From your reading and from your watching of videos, you probably now have amassed a vocabulary that is very impressive. You will know what words like jingoism mean, or hegemon, or xenophobia. But here's a disclaimer. Using big words doesn't make you intelligent. Oftentimes the converse, because nobody understands you, you'll just be the crazy guy down the street talking to pigeons. But knowing the concept behind these big words is what makes you intelligent. Knowing that hegemon refers to perhaps the United States in this world with its overreaching ability, perhaps not anymore, but to affect things of this world, like words like xenophobia to mean fear of foreigners. The concepts behind these words are what's going to be valuable to you as a thinker, but more valuable than that is the ability to test those concepts in a real world setting. So here I would recommend that you find a friend, probably someone on your debate team that is also on the same path that you are on, in discovering more knowledge and learning, and then go out to coffee with him or her, or like go out to coffee with them all the time and talk about stuff. Talk about the ideas that you've been thinking about. Have debates over the coffee table about ideas that interest you. And as you do this, you will be one step closer to applying things you learned. You're moving all the stuff out here to out here. And you'll realize that there's a disjunct between what's in here and what comes out of your mouth. And learning to align the two, to say what you mean, will go a long way in building arguments and giving speeches. So yeah, now that you've got a lot of ideas, start talking about them. Go out there, discuss them, debate them at coffee shops, have sleepovers with your mates, talk about heavy things and less about like gossip. I love that quote that says, small people talk about people, big people talk about ideas. Be a big person, talk about ideas. Okay, and now 3 minutes left of this video, the final, most important thing on gaining knowledge. And I don't have a sign for this because I ran out of paper and frankly I'm lazy. But the final one is live. Live in this world, because there's very few things in this world that can teach you more than life itself. Spend a lot of time at movies, watch a lot of TV, go out with people that you're interested in, take risks, talk to people that you've never talked to before, travel a lot. And travel doesn't mean buying expensive tickets to go to faraway places, although it certainly could mean that. But I mean, go to a grocery store that you otherwise don't go to. Try a different mall, try a different route home, but stay safe, of course. Do things that are different and challenge who you are as a person. That teaches you a lot. Talking to new people will teach you a lot. Moving out of your comfort zone will teach you a lot. And the school of hard knocks, going to debate tournaments all the time and losing rounds. If you keep losing, sooner or later you'll stop losing as often and you'll start winning. Learn all the time. Every time a debate round finishes, you and your teammate should talk about what went wrong in the round, talk to the edge, talk to each other, watch videos of yourself giving speeches, learn from yourself and learn from the environment around you. Always have a notebook somewhere with you to record ideas that come. Finally, I will say, you will soon develop on your own the skill to assess knowledge, but it's important that you have this skill. Because there is so much knowledge out there that you need to act as a filter. Guard the gates of your mind such that only the most valuable knowledge is being received by you. Now, I'm not going to say let me rephrase that. All knowledge is valuable, but some knowledge is more valuable than others. All animals are equal, but some animals are not. Sorry, geeking out. But yeah, all knowledge is valuable, but some knowledge is more valuable than others. If you only had an hour left to learn, you want to spend that hour learning a harder book, if you could, or watching a more intellectual video. There's this thing that I always call the boneless chicken dilemma, which, and this is a story, I used to coach a bunch of kids and I gave them an assignment to post on our Facebook page articles, interesting intellectual articles that they come across so that we could all be learning together. And there was this girl that kept posting really frivolous articles that were just sometimes comic. Like she posted one that was about scientists inventing a new breed of boneless chicken. And so I call it boneless chicken dilemma, because it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to, maybe sometimes, but very unlikely that you're going to be able to apply the knowledge that you learned from the boneless chicken article. So instead of spending 20 minutes reading about boneless chicken, you could have spent that 20 minutes doing something better. So the final thing I will say is that while you practice these 5 steps to bringing out the smart debater in you, remember always to assess knowledge and be critical about the knowledge that you're receiving, because not all knowledge is valuable to you. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.